Hello, and welcome to Idea Success TV. I'm Sylvia Henderson, your host. And today, my guest is CatStancik. And we are talking about several really cool things. But in this program, this episode, I want to talk to Cat about her business, how she had her idea and implemented it to become the high-powered coach that she is. And I'm not going to read the whole intro for this segment because we're only doing 10 minutes and the intro's 5. So Cat says that there's no such thing as a mission impossible to her. And she works with high-performance teams, high-performance individuals, and I'm kind of going to let you talk more about who you work with. But Cat, welcome to Idea Success TV.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And so right off the bat, one of the things that attracted me to you when I met you was that you have an energy, you have a no-nonsense, a nice but no-nonsense kind of a feel, vibe.
It wasn't the hot red shirt I was wearing?
No, it wasn't. No. It wasn't the colored hair. It was just that vibe of, okay, this is somebody that's about action, about doing, and that's kind of the vibe I got.
Yeah.
So where did you start, and what gave you the idea to do what you're doing, and how'd you get here?
Oh my God. So it's never a straight path.
Nope.
If people think that it's a direct path, there's a lot of letters between A and Z that you need to hit, and sometimes you got to come back to D and F a few times before you get on. But I really started doing what I'm doing now because I hated what I was doing.
Typical.
Right? Pretty standard, I hate my life and something needs to change or I'm not going to make it kind of situation. And so I hired a life coach of my own. Right? Okay. I know, I actually practice what I preach. What? And I still have multiple coaches on a whole bunch of different levels. It is not a one-stop thing. It is a constant personal development, iterative process of identifying what it is that I'm really boss at doing.
I hope people are really hearing that because you look at the athlete, the typical analogy, right. Athletes, and even after 15, 20 years of I'm thinking of Venus and Serena, they still have coaches.
Right.
At
they didn't
a
stop.
Different level, yeah.
Like Michael Phelps, for me, comes to mind because he's hot-ish. And
okay.
We have different tastes. And you look at it and he won 1 gold medal, right? He didn't just say, okay, I'm too good for a coach, right? He kept the same coach. Right?
Yeah.
And he kept using him as a way to springboard and push himself further to achieve a higher level of performance. Yeah. And that's part of what I do is do high performance coaching because we don't operate by ourselves at our highest level of performance. We need someone else in our lives, whoever that is, to be a springboard, to be a sounding board, whatever it is, to have that space. Where does a person who has it all together go to break down? Because we all break down.
That's right.
But the problem is we break down in front of the wrong people. So you got to watch out who you surround yourself with. And that was part of what I wanted to do was I wanted to have an impact in the world. I knew I was going to have an impact in the world. Okay. There was no doubt because there's just things that that are truths to yourself. And you have to listen to them and let them guide you. So, hired that coach, figured out that I was really interested in this coaching thing, right? Because it was a thing to me.
I know. Well, it kind of is every now and then.
Right?
Okay.
But I didn't really know, so I had to be willing to try things and fail at them and discover more of what I didn't like. Because sometimes it's not knowing what you want to do, but also knowing what you don't want to do. So I had to, put myself out there in a very uncomfortable way, doing something I wasn't skilled at, and realize that, holy shit, in this room of complete strangers, I am finally the star. Right? And really just embraced it and said, I'm going to see how far this goes. And invest in myself, right? That was a $10,000 program.
Yep.
You got to have a comma in there, right? That makes you step up. It makes you show up. So I did it, and, I just really, really resonated with it, and I took ownership of it. And, I've coached hundreds of entrepreneurs, right? And creating thousands and thousands of dollars of profits, hundreds of $1,000s of profits for people because I'm not afraid to own what my strengths are, right? It was never about trying to fix my weaknesses.
Yeah.
It was about embracing my strengths and leveraging those.
Yeah, you hit several points right on in what you were saying. But I tuned in on, you said Springboard. I thought, okay, my business is called Springboard Training.
Oh, yeah.
And, and my system is called
She's
Ideas.
been seeding that.
It's ideas to impact. And he was like, yeah, impact.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and one of the things that people always do is, they action all over the place. And let me tell you, someone who actions all over the place is just sloppy and no one likes it. But what we want is someone who's actioning with the intent to implement. Right? Implementation is the key to success, because we can all have ideas and we all start stuff, right? Like, look at those crafts, that have half started, or, I knit and I've have half knitted things that I haven't finished. You wouldn't think I was a knitter, but yes, I can get down on the geeky, nerdy side too.
I don't think knitting is geeky and nerdy, but okay.
Well, it's on that old maid spectrum.
There you
right?
go. Okay, that's more what I'm thinking.
Which is a horrible game if you think about it. Like, be anything but the old maid.
Except knowing that there's some old maids riding motorcycles, so,
yeah, well, you know what? Right on with your bad self. I don't remember what I was saying.
I know, neither do I, but that's okay. So real specifically, you work with entrepreneurs, but only certain kinds.
Yes,
Talk about that.
I'm very specific with who I work with. I'm very selective because I'm not right for everyone, and I don't want to work with everyone, because when I don't work with the right person, I feel like I'm working, right? Like I'm having to effort too much.
Oh my God, and you're pulling stuff out of them when they're the ones that are supposed to be
and they
getting...
show up the next week or 2 weeks later with the same damn problem, and they haven't implemented or actioned anything we talked about the week before, and now they want a whole other solution. And I'm like, look, I handed you your $1 million business on a silver platter, but you're not wanting to put the effort into it. Now look, things can be simple, because I love to simplify, but it does still require you to actually put some effort and work into it. Now, it doesn't mean you have to hustle your ass all the time, but it does mean that you have to be very focused with the action you're taking. Yep. So I only work with small business owners, solo entrepreneurs who are making money in their business, right? I don't have to deal with them trying to find themselves, right?
Okay.
Like, I've been there and I get it, and I can be empathetic. But it's not where my brilliance is, right? And again, focus on my strengths, not my weakness. So I'm okay with that. I can do some of that, but it's not what I want to do day in and day out.
Right.
So that's who I love to work with, people who want to have their asses kicked. I hope there's a, adult warning content on this podcast.
No, because it's about action. And,
and sometimes it's that high vibrational words. All right. And it's people who want to do, and who know that they have a mission in life and that they want to implement it. And you guys aren't seeing me necessarily pound my fist on the table right now.
That's
I'm pounding. Just do it. Nike hit the nail on the head. That's why it resonates so much. We have a lot of corporate sponsors today.
Well, and companies that are, that's another whole conversation. As we were talking earlier about corporate and not being what I came from, which was old school 70s and 80s paternal corporate. And
patriarchy. Woo.
Today, I know I wasn't gonna say the name of the company, and that was fine. That's all we knew. That's all we baby boomers knew. But now you look at corporate and you think, wait a minute, corporate is Google and Twitter and Facebook as a company. And they were started by a whole different generation of people. So it's not the same.
I've seen so many corporate companies. I mean, a high-end Fortune 100,000, 5,000, whatever it is, because I'm always learning, change the way that they are approaching, especially, and we talked about this, coming and working with millennials, right? Like, they've already overtaken the baby boomers. So you have a choice. You can work with them or against them. And if you're working against them, they're going to leave you. But it's about embracing the change. And that's something a lot of entrepreneurs struggle with, and not just entrepreneurs, but everyone. Embracing the change and welcoming it as an opportunity versus as a personal attack on your life and who you are as a person, right? It is part of life. Everything has changed. You grew taller. You learned new things. You went into new grades. And those were all scary things that you overcame. But life is cyclical. And you can choose to break the cycle and elevate, or continue in the cycle and disintegrate.
So that sounds like people are getting a sense of your philosophy. As we come to a close, these 10 minutes go fast. I know that. So kind of what one thing do you want people to know about you, or when they work with you? And of course, at the end, we'll say, how do they reach you? But what's that one thing that you want people to end this thing knowing and thinking, I want her, or maybe not?
If you just need to know how, I can help you. How to accomplish your goals, how to reverse engineer them, how to make it all happen. All you need to know about yourself is that you're worth it and that you can. And then I can help you make that dream come true.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I like the part about know that you're worth it, because you're not going through the let me help you get there kind of thing. It's like, no, you take somebody at a certain stage, and that's fine. And I wish people would realize that in their businesses, it's okay to set your where you
Niche.
want to start. Yeah.
You got a niche.
Yeah.
The niche, there's profits in niching. People don't go to a general doctor to fix all their problems. They go to specialists, and they pay that specialist more because you have one or two problems that person will fix. I don't want to go to a general doctor and have him try to treat my cancer. Right? I want to go to a cancer specialist, and I know that when I go to that person, there will be a higher price point. But the chance of him being able to help solve my problem is a lot higher, and I can fast track the results instead of trying to figure it out with the general practitioner.
What is it? There's either riches in the niches,
right,
or there's riches in the niches. I don't know which.
Whatever you need to do, just get specific.
Okay, so as we come to a close, how do people reach you?
So I have my Facebook group, Driven Action. I'm on Facebook, ActionIncubator. I'm on all the social media, and you can pretty much just Google CatStancik, and you'll find a picture of my face in your face.
I love that. And action is like in everything you just mentioned.
Yes, absolutely.
Great. Kat, thanks for being here.
Thank you so much. And I have a free gift. Can I?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So if anybody wants to understand the 3 shifts to bank 6+ figures in profits with a hell of a lot less effort too, because it's not just about the revenues, it's about what you bank in your account, you can check it out. Free gift at www.actionincubator.com/3 shifts. It's my free ebook for you guys to make sure you're implementing and taking action.
All right, you put an F in that, shifts, right?
Shifts.
There you go.
Yes. F.
All right, thanks, Kat. And I'm Sylvia Henderson, host
Didn't
of
know who she is anymore.
I'm Sylvia Henderson, host of Idea Success TV, and I invite you to tune in to the next program.